Greetings, one and all, to this week's 10 o'clock. No, I'm not going to do it again, Loz. Like, this is the second time.
That's it.
What? No.
That's it. No
What
more
do you
10
mean?
o'clock.
No,
No more.
no. There's still 10 o'clock. Yeah, so this is the second time we're recording. Turns out I ran out of hard drive space. Luckily, we're only like 15 minutes in. So.
And thus, everyone at home will be deprived of Xeno's failed Ringo Starr impression.
Yeah,
How
again,
sad.
still not trying to do that.
Such
but
a
anyway.
loss to the world.
Anyway,
so sad.
Moving on. So
How will we get by?
Episode 352. Yeah, I got the number right. And I said name. And I'm here. I'm Xeno, joined by the usual MDRLOz. And we're here to talk about Warframe for the 352nd episode in a row. Minus that 1 week. Right, so moving on.
Why are we still here?
First thing, emblems.
Why do we still suffer?
First thing, emblems. Moving on to the emblems, Loz.
Yep, so I think we agreed from last time, the other recording, let's say, we're giving it to your one. I was not, though I like my emblem, and I do think that dog is a very nice picture. I'm not a fan of the non-symmetricalness of my emblem on this one.
Yeah,
apparently you saying that your emblems has been used before,
yep.
And you've also said that I know you've duplicated an emblem from mine before, but you're saying that I've done it to you, but we'll have to see.
Yeah,
let me know on that.
I'll have to go through all 340 no, not 41, 31 of them and find out. There's a lot of emblems. We started at like episode 19.
Yours is the top line, isn't it? So
yeah, I think so. Yeah. This is a big long list. Anyway, so yeah, moving on from emblems to Dojo Dusting. Let's take the time.
Dojo Dusting!
Wow, we did it in like 2 minutes.
Yay!
You gonna take the time?
Efficiency. I am.
Good man. Right, so this week we said, well, we actually said last week that we were going to change the topic, no, the structure of the show for this episode at least. So the usual intro will then have Dojo Dusting, which we're covering right now. Then we're going to go straight into the topics, followed by the graphs, the Patreon questions, community responses, and then back into the memes, community shoutouts, and the quote. If you have any thoughts and opinions on the structure of this episode, please let us know in the comments below. And we will... How many episodes will we do of this structure first?
No, we'll just try it once. We'll just try it once. And then it's... Because I think... To explain to everyone why I wanted to do this, if you notice on the getting quite... We've obviously added loads of things to 10 o'clock over the years, and it's gotten to the point where it's 30 to 40 minutes before we get to the topic of the week. So we're not going to lose any of our sections, because I think they all add something to 10 o'clock. It's really cool. But I think that, especially for new people coming in, obviously, if they want to see it, you know, we introduce the episode, we say about the Dojo Dusting, you know, the bits and pieces, the housekeeping, and we go on to the topics. I feel that gets into the discussion of the week, let's say, especially when you have a guest, and that there'll be a longer tail on the episode as we go through all the bits and pieces. And I think we won't dally as much on them if they're on the other end anyway. So yeah, we'll see. So I don't think it'd be too much for this episode, because we're going to have one topic at the moment, because we're still on our short episodes. But once we're back up to 3 topics, I think it just help, because God, if it's 30-40 minutes and then we start talking about our long topics, I'd rather get in the topics out of the way first. So yeah. So let's get into our topic of the week.
Why? Getting too overzealous there, good sir. Right? The crap, you've completely thrown me now. There was something else. Tenno. Yes, that was it. So the next episode, we're going to be focusing on what happened during TennoCon. Now, for us, Tenno Live will air at 10 p.m. our time. I imagine it won't really finish until about midnight, and that's too late to really start recording 10 o'clock. He says at 20 to midnight right now. But right, so we will be recording 10 o'clock the Sunday morning after TennoCon 2020 has happened, so that the episode is more relevant, I suppose. You know, it's like one of the first times we'll actually get to do this. So The episode may be a little late. After we've recorded it, I'll be getting it to Loz on a USB stick, but we haven't worked out the semantics of how that will actually happen yet. So if you're wondering where it is next week, that's where it is. What else? There was one thing I wanted to say. I am, like, it's been a long time because of the whole COVID scenario that we've not had any guests. We've been down to one topic. I think now that the world is slowly coming to normality, that we're going to start looking to do multiple topics and potentially getting guests back on. But I'll be talking with Loz this weekend just gone about how we can actually facilitate this. Now we'll talk about what's happened in Warframe this week.
I'm annoyed for your use of the term facilitate.
Why?
It's a weasel word. It's weasel word and business speaky. We're going to try and do more topics because it's cool, and we'll find a way because we're cool.
I'm sorry, I have to do job shit. Right.
Don't bring your job stuff to the 10 o'clock. Let's talk some topics time.
No, not topics. We're going to do what's happened in Warframe this week.
Are you still on Dojo? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Sorry.
Are you not paying attention?
Yes.
Right.
It's just you're really doing this in a really dragged out way and then sort of pausing and not. Come on, hit it. Come on, keep going.
What happened this week with Warframe, the Heart of Deimos teaser? You going to say your thing?
Yeah, no. So somebody in the comments, which was, I have it here somewhere, Frosthawk2815 did ask about this. What do you guys think of the Heart of Deimos announcement? Infested Arcane tile set like the Derelict, but with more enemy variety? ?
I argue it's more like Lure than the Derelict. Like
yeah.
But to me, like, it doesn't really instill anything because we know it's got our old Orokin stuff. We know it's got Infested, and that's about it. Like, we don't have any big punch. I've heard 3 things. Like, I think our response to it is, oh, look, it's a new Infested tile set. Oh, look, they're finally bringing Deimos. We've got Phobos for God knows how many years. Now we're finally getting Deimos. Then, so yeah, we thought it was just a new tile set. Then a friend of ours believes it's the Railjack stuff that was shown to us years ago. Was it years ago? Last year? Last TennoCon, where they actually showed off the inside of, like, the Orokin towers floating around in regular space, and they were, like, infested inside. That's what our friend believes. And then we've also seen Tactical Potato announce that he thinks that this is leading to an infested world. And I think that there's plenty of evidence leading to agree with what he is proposing, but we won't really know until TennoCon. I'm not one for entertaining pointless fan theories. Loz is silent. I got too much stuff to do, man. Like, I mean, theory crafting is just not my forte. Loz is like, fair enough.
Loz is desperately trying to look through emblems.
Oh my god, okay. So the next thing that will happen this week is if you log into the Warframe website and you go into your account, you'll find, like, I think there's a section called permissions. In there is a new permission to allow the exposure of your loadout to an API endpoint, so you can get that data and consume it. So you can see your mod loadout for your Warframe. You can see what weapons you've got equipped, so on and so forth. What levels. So they were playing around with a Twitch extension that revealed the actual loadouts, which was quite cool. And the data can be used for all sorts of stuff. So that's it for Dojo Dusting. As previously mentioned, we're now going to move on to the topics. And Loz is going to write down the time.
Ever so slightly faster. Well, I suppose I didn't mention, yes, that the other thing I said is that was announced in Rebecca's stream. We're on Quiet Shy's channel.
Yes, that was the other thing.
Podcast. You really should watch it. It's interesting stuff. So, and the reason why actually I added this in, I think it was.
What are you trying to say?
Brozim, who said, you know, he's doing Twitch streams forever, and people kept asking, "Can you show us your build? Can you show us your build? And how do you build this or would you build this?" And it was just to enable and speed people up that they can go, "Oh, how is Brozim doing that with Cora or Baruch?" And people can just go, "Bam, there you go, there's the build." It's like, oh wow, that's really awesome. And I think it's a good addition that D is starting to do this kind of stuff that links in more with, you know, the community and the streamers and that, just expanding outside the game. I think it's a really nice change.
I concur. I just kind of wish that this is me being sad and pathetic. I kind of wish YouTube would get that, but let's move on to the topic. So the topic for this week is Hildren in Steel Path makes me feel like I'm playing a different game. Playing Hildren with a lot of CC, armor/shield stripping, and Playing Hildren with a lot of CC, armor, shield strip, and finishing them off with hate takes more than an instant kill. Combined with their chances to affect you with their CC causes me to react /block /etc. now. Enemy types stand out more, as opposed to being a vanilla horde shooter face in the crowd that you don't look at for more than a moment. Plus, I'm actually using my abilities in conjunction with synergetic weaponry for maximum kill power. Hildren and Steel Charge is actually a pretty cool experience because you also have your available options tactically to accomplish your goals. So let me just make sure I read that out correctly. I think I did. And it feels good because in this specific instance, there's that joy of having planned and executed a synergy across your entire arsenal. Are you still looking for this emblem? Are you still looking?
I think you've copied yourself as well, actually.
Oh my god, stop it.
No, hang on. I'm just going to find it. Yeah, you have. You've used the same emblem on 247 and the thing. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, was that the last bit about it? Oh, sorry, I was reading the topic, actually, of the thing. That's why, sorry, I was going to be a little bit more on this. Yeah, it's really interesting. What's your feels? Because I remember you were saying... I remember when Hildren came out, and you were not impressed, let us say. I think I'll put it at that.
I wouldn't say I was unimpressed. I just felt like I don't get it.
No, I didn't say unimpressed, but just not nonplussed, let's say. You were like...
Yeah, it's like it's there. It's something like the problem for me is like with Hildren and a lot of other frames that have come out in the recent years, I can shoot them to death faster than I can cast an ability. Like setting up like one Warframe that I really want to get behind is Garuda.
Right.
But I've never truly understood how to play her because nothing survives long enough for me to use her.
Right? Well, so
it's very similar.
Is the way to go.
It's very similar with Revenant. I was going to say Remnant. That's a different game entirely. So yeah, with Revenant, it's just like I always wanted to understand the value of the Thralls and the Mist Wall and all his abilities and things. He then obviously turned into a giant meme of spin to win.
Spin to win.
No. And I feel that the great thing about Steel Path is because stuff isn't just super squishy, there is an opportunity to fully immerse yourself in newer Warframes that are more than just I will put on these abilities and now I am super tanked of soaky awesomeness. Like, seriously, the big reason why I play Oberon so often is because I can just soak all the damage. Whereas, I mean, right now in the footage, I'm playing Limbo, and the reason for that... Yeah, no, the reason for that is we're going to do a Steel Path defense node, and I'm like, well, I'll just put up a bubble and keep the thing protected. You know, so then we don't have to worry about that.
What, are you saying that still feels trivial, or that you actually
No.
Limbo?
I feel like there is value in me doing that rather than actually just, you know, doesn't matter what gear I take, I just skill chump this whole thing, you know. So I like the fact that there is now, it feels valuable to swap up your gear all the time. And yeah, I want to try Hildren, I want to try Garuda, I want to try the Warframes that I've never truly understood.
Yeah, I've got a lot of mixed feelings with it, and I definitely agree with you on the Warframes. It means that I need to go form a few of them so I can make use of them.
Yeah.
And I love that the memes have let me know that, I mean, one of the reasons I used to think with Aniros, I didn't understand him, what are you supposed to do with his abilities? And it turns out you're not supposed to use the abilities is the joke for Aniros. Yeah. So there's that helped me. But the other thing I was going to say is that, yes, I agree with you that it almost feels like that war. Do you remember the first time we were playing Warframe back in 2016 and how
we hid behind cover, waiting?
We were from a heavy gunner, like it must have been like a level 5 heavy gunner or something, waiting for it to reload so we could pop out to try and shoot it a little bit.
Yeah,
and it was so scary and so amazing. I do get a bit of that feeling back because I feel like the mobs can punch back now, definitely. At the same time, though, it also shows the amount of time that's passed since then that I want to catch up on some things. I want to use a new frame, a new gun, a new style of play. But then, unless you are one of these people who's completed everything to its maximum, I do think, oh, right, well, I want to use that focus tree. I haven't used that focus tree. It's going to take me X amount of time to unlock and cap that. Oh, I want to build a new Zor to try that out because people say this. Oh, well, I didn't get this arcane that people say I need. That's several days worth of capping out on rep to afford the maxing out of that arcane. Oh, what about this new gun? Oh, but I'm going to need to get a ribbon for that, and I'm going to need to re-roll it. So I do. It feels great, and it feels challenging again. At the same time, though, for me, I'm starting to realize that the amount of time it is required to make something, I'm not saying the best, but I mean to a usable form, is quite massive now, unless you have gotten to the point that you have a ribbon for every gun kind of thing, or and all your focus trees are maxed, you have all the arcanes, you have every mod, you have... I'm missing one more thing. I know I'm missing one more thing. I made a list.
I think you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I imagine that there are some content creators out there that do this. Okay, that was weird. I think there are some content creators out there that do this, but I think it would be great if there were builds that this is your budget build, right? This is you haven't got your top dollar mods yet. You haven't got your ribbon yet. This because I see.
No, I think they do a good job of. I've seen a few. I've been looking at builds, and I even think I saw a Brosine build, and he said he was putting out about the Cora whip ridiculousness, and he did give a build with a ribbon and without a ribbon, you know, and saying the ribbon just makes it insane. So they do these kind of things.
Yeah, but I'm saying that I'm sure that they do. But my point is that I feel that a lot of the weight relies on the super duper builds, the top tier builds, the ones that, you know, have this Exodia Contagion, you know, one of the arcanes for Zors that takes you ages to get, so on and so forth. I mean, I lucked out because when we had the first bout of Plague Star, I just bought the whole, like, what is this?
Same.
I need 10 of them. I will get 10 of them, preempting my.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is the point, though. This is what I mean, is I have both of the Exodia arcanes maxed out because of Plague Star. I had none of the normals or arcanes.
Yeah.
You can only get about 8,000 rep a day. They cost 10,000 for one. So that's then requires me to spend a week to max out one of the extra arcanes. Let's say I need it. And it's things like that I'm starting to think that there's a lot of stuff that could... All they could do is just maybe remove do we really need a daily cap on that rep? Do we really need a daily cap on the focus grind?
But is it a problem?
I really want to get into, like, let's say, leveling up some focus trees, because I've just been looking at Yunaro the whole time. And now I'm like, right, I want to get into that tree. It's going to take me months. And I really think they need to have a look at thinking, because obviously when they put in these systems, they put them in considering we need to entertain players for the next 3 months on this content. That's fine for those first 3 months when players are playing it a lot. But then a new player who's coming through and their 7 content drops behind and they're trying to catch up, each piece of content along the way is requiring 3 months of attention from them. And they have to do like a portion a day in each thing. And so I just think to streamline it, because I want to get more people to Steel Path, is my point. I want more people to feeling cool in Steel Path. I'm not saying that I want to make Steel Path easy, but I want to be able to let people to, say, a fresh player, how long is it going to take them to get to Steel Path and get to the point they can complete all the Steel Path and like, all different nodes and things. Like, you've got Limbo Prime for this defense node, but I assume most nodes you'll use Oberon. I assume some nodes you might use a Necros. You'll set up, and that'll take a lot to form of those, to get those ready, to get their augments. It's more and more things. But I think it's time we start reducing the amount of time it takes to get certain things.
I get where you're coming from. I think I am in agreement with you. I think there should be like certain caps be removed, because
I'll give you specific examples of which caps I think should be removed. The Ostrons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I always get the Fortuna ones mixed up. What's the first Fortuna rep?
Solaris United. No, Vox
Solaris United, right, yeah. So Solaris United, but I wouldn't touch the rep caps on the Quills or Vox Solaris, because those are the more higher end things. But I think that to get the getting people into the contents, like, you want to farm kit guns, nothing's going to stop you farming kit guns, getting that rep up, get the kit guns things, get access to second level thing. And the third thing, I think, is the daily focus cap should be removed, but they should also, if they want to see, the focus system is weird. They haven't added anything to it, but it should become mandatory. They should put a cap on what the maximum. Let's say you maxed out all the focus trees, and there's people that, let's say, are doing their cap every day, and they're getting more and more and more. I think they should put a maximum cap they're allowed of focus you can store in the bank, but remove the daily cap. That might annoy some people. Like, oh, but I had 17 billion focus points saved up. Right?
Have some credits.
Have some credits for it, or some resource. If you're being annoyed about that, you're basically preventing DE from adding anything to the system, because they have to accommodate the fact that you'll be able to max out instantaneously, thus ruining the game just so you want to sit on your massive pool of points you couldn't have done anything with anyway. I mean, if they give them a trade-off, and that way, because if there's a total cap on the amount you can have, but there's no daily cap, it lets players who get into the focus system, they can go, I can just keep playing and playing and playing and get focus and fill out their tree, which is what we need people to do at this point. We need to get people up to them through these systems so they can be on a closer footing to everyone. But if you just remove the daily cap and don't put in a hard limit for the amount that anyone can store, you'll have people having, people will find cheese mechanics, and they'll have 17 quintillion focus points. So you need to swap the systems around.
Yeah, no,
I have thought about that.
I certainly think that there should be an upper limit on the amount of. So basically, you should have a maximum amount of focus points per
tree.
Yeah. To where you can unlock all the nodes of the tree.
Yeah, maybe make it something like that. And obviously, because at some point, I hope they come back to the focus system, or they do something with the points. And it would allow people to max out all these banks and then say, look, my focus is now done. I don't need to look at that right now. And that way the vets will have something in the bank for people who are still leveling it now. But it won't be broken to the point that DE has to go, well, we don't know what to do because these people have all these massive numbers, which they probably already do now. With the daily cap, which is, I think we need to start future-proofing that system so they can come back to it, they can look into it, but it still also lets newer players, because I look at it and I really want to get into a new tree, and it's like, oh, this is my daily focus cap, I can do 2 nodes or level up 1 point on a node or something. I'm like,
because
I want to be able to play solidly for one day on it and unlock several nodes. But I don't have the time to play every day anymore.
Yeah.
I've got so many things to do.
Like
the daily cap is just old.
I don't know if it's just a case of Loz, we're getting old, Loz, we have responsibilities or whatever. But I mean, I'm pretty sure the younger, like, God, you know when your parents say to you, like, cherish your school years, you will miss them, right?
Right.
God, were they fucking right?
Oh yeah.
You know, like, you don't know what you're talking about. Being adults to best. Nah.
I remember when I was a kid and I played through all of Pokemon Silver in Japanese.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't wait for it to come to here. I don't have the time to go through a Pokemon game now or a Final Fantasy game. I think in the past I've played through Final Fantasy 4 at least 4 times to near the end. Yeah. I look at like, oh, maybe I should do that now. I look at it like, oh, I don't have the time to invest 50, 100 hours in one game like that.
Yeah.
You know, I've got lots of little things to do. So, yeah.
I mean, it's worse.
So, but the thing is, well, you might be getting old, but obviously the Warframe community, it's been 7 years now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many new players they're bringing in, but I would assume, like with World of Warcraft, it's the same. The population generally ages, so we need to have a look at these kind of systems.
Yep. No, I'm in complete agreement with you. I do think that they need to change this stuff. I think it's excellent, but I will say I don't think there is a need to rush newer players to the Steel Path.
Yeah.
But
I'm not talking about. Yeah, that's the thing. They'd still have to put the same amount of effort in to get the points. But instead of going, well, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow. They can continue today.
No,
they don't have these impediments.
I'm 100% behind
breaks.
My point was, I think that it's important to have newer players say, "Hey, here's name of the thing. Here's Steel Path. Steel Path is over the end of this long marathon track, right? This is the hard mode, right? You will get to this when you've unlocked every node on the star chart, right? I mean, it would be cool if there was the hard mode, easy, normal mode thing on the right-hand side.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be great if that was always there, but when you click on the hard mode, it says you need to complete this checklist of stuff. Yeah?
Just checking. Do we know it's not like that?
I do not know it's like that. I'm pretty sure it is not like that.
Let's ask, because maybe there is someone in our community. This would be an interesting check. If there's somebody out there listening, if you have not unlocked Steel Path yet, because I know it's on consoles now, can you let us know, does the little slider bar on the right appear, has it appeared for you? Because I agree with you. It should be there to say, this is something for you to do in the future. Yeah. Go get it. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. That to tease you, to want you to make you go further. But roll back a bit let's go back to the topic. I know I've taken us on a segue into an unknown path. Let's go back to Steel Path. So Hildren, I already liked Hildren. Let's see. So that this person says they're playing Hildren and they feel like there's now use to the tool that is Hildren in all these different scenarios. I'm going to put it to you. Have you got any ideas, or have you been testing out any Warframes in a different way yet? I mean, I see you using Limbo, but I know,
no.
So let's come on. Let's plan ahead. Actually, what are you going to try differently?
One thing I would like.
How many?
What?
How many Overons do you have there?
I think it's like 30 odd.
I can see the footage now, and I'm like, right, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Why do they have different poses? Is that the skins?
Yeah, different skins have different poses. Right. So.
Right. Okay. So.
I dropped my pen. Loz. One thing I will say is, can people link me in like either send me a tweet or DM me a tweet or send me. I would say send me a message. Put a comment in the comment section below with your recommended build for. Pick a Warframe. Just pick a Warframe, right? Because I'd love to try it. My concern is if you put a link to a build in the comments below, YouTube will flag it as held for review, and I'll never see it because YouTube is terrible for, putting stuff in held to review and then, you don't see it for months. So if it's a YouTube video, shove it in the comments below. If it's like a picture on Imgur, message me on, like, you know, you could come on the Discord server, just throw it in the Warframe builds, link me to it, so on and so forth. The Warframes that I really want to learn how to play are Warframes like Baruch, Garuda, Gara. Gara's, I think, one of the simple ones. I just never played her. Korra, yeah, put Korra on that list.
Gauss?
No, Gauss is just run fast. You run into things. I want to say Grendel, but apparently I've heard you don't play Grendel. I mean, but again, just any Warframe, like just
you don't,
huh? No,
you don't play Grendel.
Apparently, people don't play Grendel, but you know, just any Warframe. Please feel free to send me any builds. Like, I'd love to give them a go and try and get into the Warframe.
Well, there you go. Xeno's had a call for builds, everyone. Give him your interesting builds. He wants.
Cool. Should we go to replies?
I do notice it's the same with me. It is the more newer frames, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we did say this in the first recording, and I said it. Sorry, and the analogy for it is, like you were saying, you don't feel Hildren has a use. Like that. Here's you know, in a world of wrenches and hammers and nuts and bolts that need tightening, someone invents the Hydro Spanner. It's a spanner which works super well underwater and no others do. And you're like, right, I've got my new Hydro Spanner. And you go out into the world and you find that there's no need for it because normal spanners work perfectly fine. So you go, well, why do I need this new tool? And so you don't use it. And Steel Path has given you the scenario, like everything's now flooded. Haha, you're the man with the Hydro Spanner. You can now do things with it and you now feel a use for the tool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel with newer Warframes. It's just I look at them and I'm like, well, why do I need this?
Yeah.
And I think it's a bit of a weakness on my part of not stepping out of my comfort zone to get to the new frame and going, right, I'm going to use this. And not just, this is the guilty thing, is I do try. I go, I'll play this Warframe, and I just sort of play it. I don't go, no, I'm going to stick with this Warframe, and I'm going to try and use it in scenarios which, you know, this other frame was my go-to in the past, but I'm going to use this Warframe now, and I've got to survive as Grendel in defense. I've got to survive as Grendel or Gauss doing interceptions and see how that can affect it. And I just don't. I just go, oh, well, better swap to Trinity.
Yep.
Oh, survival. Gonna need a Necros. You know.
Yep.
So I need to get out of that comfort zone. Yeah. And that's what I find anyway. And like Baruch. Baruch is my biggest hole, I feel. Like, I looked at it and I was like, I don't even want to try.
Yeah.
I don't. To be honest, it's the look of the frame. I've bought the Grax skin of it, which helped a bit. But at the same time, I can't wait till he gets either a premium skin or the Prime comes out. Because it just feels, I just don't like the look of it.
There is a Kuva Baruch skin that looks...
Kuva Baruch skin?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it for you now.
Is it a Tenno gen?
Yeah.
Ah.
So...
Well, no, I mean, I've got the Grax one, which is amazing. But the problem with these skins is, from the neck down, they can change the look of it, but not the geometry of the frame.
Yeah.
And it's the geometry of
Baruch
below the neck, which I just don't like it. I just can't. I want a different skin from. It's a bit of a side thing. What do you think the idea of universal skins?
What do you mean?
A skin you could apply to any Warframe.
No.
Okay. Just
like,
I just hate Baruch. I just hate the look of it. I just hate it.
No, like, to be fair, like I really want another deluxe skin for Oberon because I hate that crotch cloth.
Right.
You know, it's like some of the Tenno skins have done a brilliant job, sort of
doing things with it.
Yeah, but still, get rid of it. Like, I'm not the world's biggest fan of his butterfly wing skirt, but I much prefer that than the crotch cloth. It's supposed to be like a tabard for like the front and the back, but it just, like, you can't do anything with it. It looks gross.
Cool. Right. So
Guys.
you're gonna try and use
Grendel. I want Grendel.
Okay.
Baruch. Bora. Just give me your builds, guys and girls.
Nice. Right, let's have a look at this. So replies. Steel Path honestly feels like how the game should be. Frame abilities that aren't nukes actually have use now. Yeah. There is the trade-off, though, and Reb has said about this in the past, is that early Warframe, CC was superior, and there was a bit of damage frames coming to play, but then as abilities and mods came in, damage just took over and CC fell away. And now Steel Path has kind of swapped that around a bit again because mobs take a lot more casts to kill and CC is more useful. So it is kind of a fine balance that kind of alternates between them, like two sides. So I think Steel Path's done a good job of balancing it for today, though.
To be honest, though, that comment of like some abilities are now useful or what have you, I kind of disagree with the sentiment because like there are loads of abilities that people said, "Oh no, this is useless, that's useless, whatever," and they were great. You know, it's just they didn't do mass amounts of damage. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, I finally found that. Baruch I was telling you about. It's in Discord.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, see, again, that is a lovely hat. I really like that. But from the neck down, I'm just like, and I know it's from the weight they've dropped the waist down where it really gets bad, and I'm just like, give me a premium neck down, please.
Yeah. Right.
I thought you said it was Kuva.
I thought it was. It's Kuva themed.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's look it.
I feel it looks more Kuva than anything else. Like Kuva Guardian or whatever. Anyway. More replies. More replies! Violently shaking! More replies!
Nobody going to talk about how max strength Balefire trivializes most enemies in Steel Path, because that shit is just funny. I see people talking about using primaries and secondary and melees in here, and I can only wonder why, outside of just messing around. Well, I didn't know that max rank Balefire was that strong. I'll have to give it a go myself.
I imagine this may be along the same line of problems with... I hope I'm wrong, but this is assumption because I don't know how Hildren works. I wonder if this is anything to do with like the exalted weapons. Because Balefire is her first, isn't it? It's the gauntlets.
Yes, but it's an exalted weapon. It's
yeah,
not a weapon taking some effects from Rivens and or set bods on a weapon.
Oh, is it actually an exalted weapon?
The wiki, I think it is. Wiki says here Hildren equips her exalted weapon, energy rocket launcher sidearm. I'm pretty sure it is.
You want to boot up the game and find out?
I will boot it up while I'm here. I'm just seeing if it says mods that can affect the fire thingy, damage affected by those secondary weapon mods. Can equip acolyte mods. Yeah, I'll give it a go, but I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. Do you want to read out the second ability while you're at it?
I will. Ability?
Sorry, second reply. Third reply.
Ember rework is good for this feeling too. 3 strips armor and heals yourself if using augment. And I like running her 1 augment too, which is approximately 30-second weapon damage buff scaling with ability strength. The fun part is Ember's passive gives ability strength nearby burning enemy. So you can, for Ignis, etc., a big group of enemies, so yeah, set a big pile of enemies on fire, and then rebuff 1 to snapshot the bonus. Usually overkill and or 4 doesn't leave enemies alive outside of Steel Path, lol. I mean, outside of Steel Path, yeah. I mean, anything leaves enemies outside of Steel Path pretty much dead. Boop. So yeah, I think you're not replying this because you heard the word Ember.
No. I'm like I don't. Again, I actually quite like Ember's rework, especially with the whole damage reduction. Actually. I'm not really felt the need to use her 4th ability, mostly because I normally shoot things and they're dead. So again, I'm totally down to try an Ember for Steel Path. It's just like variety and stuff like that. I mean, I've not had any time this week to actually get any further. I've done Earth and Venus. I've unlocked the Mars Junction and the Mercury Junction. I've just had no time.
Well, I've been enjoying dog days. and catching up on Nightwave. So there's so much to do these days, which is good.
Yep.
Which is good.
Last one.
Right, it's in game now. It's exactly this kind of stuff why many of us wanted a higher difficulty in Warframe. Steel Path makes me feel more powerful than ever because I actually see how important various Warframe abilities are compared to regular missions, in which everything dies instantly regardless of your loadout. That's the point. And the thing, if you listen to that podcast that I was telling you about, by the way, they make a point of people. It's like, oh, why do people shouldn't say, oh, people? It's weird that people say this should have been in the game years ago, but we did ask for this years ago.
Yeah,
we really did.
Yeah,
we used to say it's like you wouldn't. I mean, just the things were like, even if it was changed, so it was like, why can't we start survivals with rank 50 or 100 mobs?
Yeah,
like just as an option for that, we just give us that option, because we used to, back in the days of pre-Old Void with keys, we used to love survivals once they hit the 1 hour mark, but you had to invest or 2 hour mark, but you had to invest so much time to get to that point, and then someone needs to go to the toilet, someone needs to leave, someone crashes, right, and we have to start again. It's like, but that was when the game was getting exciting.
Yeah.
And now the game lets you start at that point. So we did ask for this years ago.
Yeah.
It is sad it took us so long to get to this point.
But don't get me wrong. Like, I think we had a card of this before, like asking, like, do you think Warframe is a casual game? I think it would be too much effort for me to find it. But I think
Balefire definitely exalted. Yeah.
Cool.
I thought I was 99% sure it was, and I just loaded my.
But
I love my Hells Machine. Looks so cool.
I'm very sure that there's a large majority of the audience, I could be wrong, I could be misremembering, I'm pretty sure a large majority of the audience believes that Warframe caters to the casual audience, and that is what is holding a lot of Warframe's development back, right? There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but for those of us who are craving challenge and like, the great thing is that when people are doing this and they're all talking, oh, Steel Path this, Steel Path that, oh, do this, take this to Steel Path and things, it's going to, what's the word I'm looking for? Validate it. And people are going to start doing Steel Path more regularly. And as a result, it's going to, see improvement. I'd love to see additional enemies. Have you, it's a random tangent, have you done any of the hard mode for Dead Cells?
No.
You should, because it introduces new enemies in all the environments. It's great.
Sounds good.
Cool. Right.
I'd love to play more Dead Cells. It's like finding time to do all these things, as you said earlier. So, God, do you remember kids and you had to, when we were younger, a game came out, you're like, right, this game is going to be amazing. It's going to occupy me for 6 months. Whereas now it's like, you spend 5 minutes like, this game's really good. Hey, by the way, this game's come out now. No, I'm playing this game. Oh, by the way, while you were talking about that game, this game's come out.
It's really interesting because, like, when we were kids and games were coming out really infrequently. Now, every month, you have multiple major titles coming out with huge budgets behind them. And, like, one of my work colleagues, he actually has a monthly gaming budget. Right? Wow. Each month he's buying new games. Like, yeah. And here I am. I just bought Panzer Paladin? Paladin Panzer.
Right.
You know the one I'm talking about. The 8-bit retro-looking one. Girl in a mech picks up weapons. Oh my god. I swear it's Panzer Paladin.
That sounds amazing. What?
I've linked it to you before. And I also bought Carrion as well. Also bought Carrion. So yeah.
You have linked me that. Is that out now?
What, Panzer Paladin? Yeah, that is.
Paladin,
it came out the other day.
I told you about this.
I told you about this
before it came out.
No,
when things haven't come out,
I told you I was playing it when we were going to play Remnant, and you were like, "Oh no, you can keep playing Panzer Paladin." And I was like, "No, we're playing Remnant. I've been waiting for you to come online. We're playing Remnant."
But I was saying, like, you told me about Panzer Paladin before it came out, so my brain took that and filed it in bin.
So when I told you about
so when
it,
you said
like, was that
there was no
nice,
resource of what that meant. There was things, playing Thing, right? Because file that's nice. Bin because not released yet. Don't care about. Okay. Now Max Pixel Art, yes.
Right. Okay, so we're done with the community shout. Sorry, we're not done with the community shoutouts at all.
Go with the topic. Yes, Steel Path is interesting, and I think it's just producing more and more things as time goes by. I'd like to see that they realize how amazing it is, and maybe we get. I'm not sure if it would have the same effect, but let's say Steel Path level 2 at some point, and we shouldn't have to wait another 7 years for it. I mean, what? Where do you think they go? There's a thing before we finish this topic. Where should they go from here for that next step of Steel Path? I think it's great. It's brought a lot to it. Can there be another level? Can we actually give something to, as you said, that the real hardcore endgame players? I remember Brosing says, and I keep saying Brosing in the same stream. He is a player that literally has everything in the game, every mod, every arcane, everything maxed, and it's still not really content for him. I think that's what he says. Paraphrasing exactly. So, how can they maybe come up with another step from Steel Path? What is the next step along this path?
I think there's a couple of different ways you could do it. One, more difficulty.
Just ramp the numbers up some more.
Yeah. Two, oh god, how would I best describe this? I want to say try and adopt some Souls mentality in. So if you don't, in order to actually progress to the next planet, you have to complete the whole planet in one go. Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
So if you die, you have to start the planet again. So that's...
I'm not sure. I like that concept, but I don't think it would work for sort of a persistent whole long path. But no. I'll pitch you my idea, which maybe that might be one way of putting into it. In the same, here's what I would like to maybe see for the next tier of it, whatever. Why not make it so you got Diablo, which has seasons?
Oh god!
Now I think running a whole the concept, not actually that. Running the whole star chart as a season would be a stupid idea. Right?
Oh thank God!
Absolutely stupid. What about if a planet at a time?
Yeah.
It was open for 2 weeks. And these would run once a month. There'd be the first 2 weeks of every month would be X planet on Steel Path version 2. And you could have it. I think there'd be multiple ways of scoring for this event. So it'd be cosmetic only rewards, obviously, and it'd have a ranking, because that's something we're missing in Warframe. We used to have back in the days rankings. And I'm going to allow people to cheese it. And so there'd be one score there'd be multiple paths through the planet. There's one path where you have to. I like your idea. You see, where if you die, that's it. And maybe you have to do it solo. You can make that the solo one. So it's a solo journey through it. And then other events where it's got a scoring system. And I'm going to take this. I know I play it. I don't talk about it much. There's a game, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius app game. They've got an event called Dark Visions, which comes out once a month, where there's Final Fantasy bosses. And it gives you a score per boss. Let's say you have a week to do 9 bosses. And you can do the boss as many times as you want, but each time you're given a score. And the score has different values, which can max out. So it's like, you've got to reduce the amount of damage you take, and if you take damage, that score goes down. You have to do what's called a chain, where you accountabilities next to each other up to 100. There's you have to do the right elemental damage. That's a score. The maximum damage you do beyond just killing it, additional damage, and then there's the maximum damage I think in one turn, and it gives you a score in these rankings. Obviously, Warframe would be a bit different, so you could have do every mission. It gives you a score for every node on the planet for taking 0 damage. Then there could be amount of affinity gained. You could have loads of different scoring things, and that way within that 2-week period I said so you might just go through. So for most people, they could easily go through the whole planet in say a day or 2 days, and they've completed all the nodes and they're on the scoreboard, but their scores per node would be very low, and they've got 2 weeks where they can go back to any node and they can up their scores, and at the end of the 2 weeks we say who's got the most, and we give out cosmetics and things based on that. So, and that way it would close, and then 2 weeks, a month later, we have another planet,
So I just want to say there's participation cosmetics, and then there's top of the leaderboard cosmetics, right?
Yes, ranking ones and participation ones, yeah. So it'd be very easy, I think. Well, not very easy, but, be a bit of effort to just clear the planet and whatever, and you get those basic ones. And then there'd be ones with pushing yourself.
Okay. The one that you had the idea of with, the solo run, whatever, I would like. I'd like it if it was multiple people. But
the one where you had to survive.
Yeah, basically. But
is it has to be? The reason why I put solo is if it's a team, does it have to be a fixed team?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. I think we're both thinking the same reason there. Yeah. Because if you're going to do that, I think it should be, as I say, it's for 2 weeks, and afterwards the team broke in the next event. You could have a different team of 4 people, and you're going through it as a team. I like that. So how about there's a solo category and a team category for that?
I also think that the participation. Yes, to your question. I also think there should the participation cosmetics should come back. Come into, like, you can buy these. Wanna say
why would you buy them?
Because what if you're unavailable for those 2 weeks? What if you're
you wait till that planet comes around again?
Ah, right. Okay, so that's fine. If that's the case, fine. If they come back, but the whole point is they come back, right?
Yeah.
So,
but
fine.
I would also like to add more ones as well. You say come back, but I kind of miss the days of, especially with cosmetics. Why I say cosmetic is, you were there for this thing, you get this badge of honor.
The problem is we have already stated that if it's something that you feel that you could do in a weekend, 100% on board. It doesn't come back.
That's
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay, fine. And
that's why I give a 2-week period as well.
Yes. So I could completely appreciate the idea of it coming back, though. Maybe it's a case of, while the planet's on there, there's a vendor, I don't know, on a relay somewhere that does it for tokens for that planet that only exist while that planet's out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So, like, when that planet's gone, when that planet has tungsten pathed out, then your tokens reset back to 0, as opposed to they carry over like the tokens for Plaguestar. Right. The other thing I thought of for Brozime was actually Trials. Bring back Trials 2.0. So come on with Trials 2.0. I think the way forward with that is Squad Link. Yeah.
We've said about that, though.
Right.
Right, I think we've got that. Let's go into the next section.
Jeez, that topic was massive. We really went on.
Yeah, but it was a small topic as well. But I feel that because we do the topic first, we think about this more, and we go back how we used to be.
Cool.
We talk about Warframe and come up with ideas.
Why did
that's the wrong section? Right. Let's do some graphs. Let's go back to them old graphs.
So moving back to the graphs. Actually, one thing I was considering doing was having in the top left-hand corner, this is the part of the show we're currently doing right now.
Oh, that'd be cool. I like that.
Yeah, I could look to do that. Right, so...
Just pointing out, we're always looking to improve 10 o'clock. So if you'd like to see anything, do put the comments, and we read every comment before the episode begins. So, So anyway, from last week, graph number 1, Xeno.
Right, so we asked the question, should we change the order of 10 o'clock? Right.
No!
Oh my god, I cannot read those. Those are way too small. Hold on, I need to get up my... Right, okay. So, 14% said yes, 40% said that they don't care, and 46% said no. Oddly enough,
that's weird, because
these are shifted.
44% said no on that, on what I'm looking at. Have they changed it? Have they? Okay.
Oh, someone else has literally voted.
Ah.
So the numbers are different. My bad. Right. So, the majority of people say that they don't say no, but if you add don't care and yes together, then it trumps no. But we've said that we'll at least try this out. We'll see what the analytics on YouTube says. Probably nothing. We also would love it we'd love it if you shared 10 o'clock with your other Warframe chums. So, but
I was going to hold off saying that till we get back to the old school 3 topics and some.
I agree, but to be honest, I think that's one of the reasons why the viewership numbers are so low. But I still want to work out why on earth it starts at 88% and then drops down to less than, like, who are the people that click on it? Is podcast? Yeah. Right.
No, we'll never know. Next graph.
Right. Next graph. So the next graph is, should DE implement some form of dedicated servers?
It's not coming up.
What? Oh.
Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. There we go. Right. Okay.
Oh, no. Sorry. I think I skipped a question. No, sorry. The second question is, have you tried to farm steel essence? which is Steelies. Sorry, my bad.
Steelies.
Right. Okay. So 17% said that they're on console. 31% said yes. 51% said no, which is slightly.
I said earlier, is Steel Path on console? Is Steel Path on console yet?
I think it might be now.
Let me check.
Either that or it's really close to.
Yeah. Do you want to go through the results there?
I literally just did.
See how wrong I am. Oh no, it's still insert. Oh my god, I apologize for all our console players. I think I did say it was out. It's still insert.
Yeah. So
that's a long time insert.
70% I'm on console. 31% said yes. 51% said no. I've not tried it yet. Have you?
No, and there was a person in the comments who did explain why people farm it, by the way, and that is because the longer you do certain missions, the increased Eczema spawn rate.
Yeah.
And obviously that's why. I didn't know why, so there we go.
Oh, okay.
I did know that was in the game, but it's like there's so many things in the game, but making the links of why this goes to this, that's what gets me about. Right. So many links. Right.
Next graph is, should DE implement some dedicated servers? 9% said yes for rewards. 20% said yes for Conclave. 34% said no, it's a waste of resources. And 37% said yes for missions too.
What's yes for rewards mean?
So this was to do with last week's topic, where people getting banned for getting over 100 steelies.
And, right.
That was part of the anti-cheat system, so on and so forth, because the rewards are decided client side, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that was the whole of that. So I'm interested to know why people are saying yes for missions too. Very interested. If you voted
maybe because they
week,
think it would be easier for them to connect to a set server rather than somebody in Brazil or something, because they don't. You don't have control over who you connect to.
No, they shouldn't do that. Yeah, if they're on the same region, you got a fair point. I'm interested to know, like, if you voted yes for missions 2 last week. I mean, I can find your names. I would be very interested to know why you have voted on that. Is it because you're getting constant host migrations? Is it because... Yeah, I just want to know. Actually, I noticed on the graph it's tied, isn't it? Because obviously my numbers are slightly skewed. Right.
Right, next one.
And then the last graph is... What is your opinion on DE's rare resource anti-cheat check / trade ban protection system? Right? So 14% said that they didn't care. 17% said right idea but wrong implementation. I asked people to comment on this, did they?
Yeah, there was a few. I think I picked up 1 or 2 of them up and I will talk about them.
26% said not needed. Very, very interested in that. And 43% said, good idea.
Fair? Yeah.
Cool. Right.
I think it's an alright idea.
Yeah.
I think Steely's just fell into a little of a check trap, and that's been adjusted. And I don't think they considered how many people were going to get it because of the Xmas link and
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. It is what it is. It's something needs to be in place. You can't have nothing. Dedicated servers, I think, would cost them too much, considering the influx, the temperament of the player demand. Because the last thing you want to do is spin up a server when the demand shoots up through the roof. You want to be able to get a good idea of what the expected demand is. Take this from an infrastructure engineer. It's really hard to automate this stuff, especially when services like, to throw a company under the bus, Amazon decide half an hour after the server's dead, oh, the server's dead. Yeah, fucking worked that out 30 minutes ago when the client was calling. Thanks, Amazon. You know, so it's...
Why are you on the planes?
I was helping Lou do her Nightwave. I'm pretty sure.
What Nightwave was it? Oh, Thumper.
Was it? No. Wait, what level? No. We're doing we're helping Scarlet and Yumikana do Steel Path, and we're doing the planes.
Ah.
Sorry, that was it.
Yeah, that is one of the things about Steel Path is I feel forever it's gonna be like, oh, let's help this person do it back to Earth.
Do you wanna hear controversial opinion? I really feel that the Steel Path bounty for the planes should be 8 stages, not 5.
I don't think it's controversial. I think it's sensible.
I'm imagining so many people going, "You monster!" in chat. Right. Okay. So that's it for the graphs.
Yeah.
Right. You did note down the time? Yes. I haven't got it in front of me.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're on Patreon questions now.
Right. Okay. Good. Right. So we're moving on to the Patreon questions. Go for it. Do your thing.
Right. Sorry, I got to write down this first, haven't I? Got to get that done. I'm doing a good job with writing it down. So now I've got to minimize this so I can see them. And there they are. And right, Nick Evans. And now a task for both hosts. Oh no, we're ruined. If each of you now has to design a new Warframe class based off a classic fairy tale, not the more recent rewrites to make them more child-friendly, that rewards either a new weapon or Warframe themed after that fairy tale.
Red Riding Hood.
Go for it. Explain. Right. Come on, give us a spiel. How's that going to work? Give us a faction. Give us what's happening. Who's Red Riding Hood? Who's the wolf?
Okay, so the wolf is infested. The faction is. I'm going to bring back the Mycoans. Like, they could come back.
Do you know, I was as well. I was going well. Yeah.
So my faction is the Mycoans. The Warframe. God, a large part of me wants to say Avara. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Avara. So Avara gets the Warframe. God, what was the other part?
No, it says it rewards either a new weapon or Warframe.
Okay. So
themed off that fairy tale.
Right, okay. Now,
a big axe.
Actually, genuinely, I wanted to give it an axe, right? So I want it to be like like the hammer weapons and things like that, but its model is actually an axe. So yeah, two-handed heavy axe, and yeah. So, but I think I would still otherwise it would be a sort of like Red Riding Hood kind of Warframe that. God, I don't know. I don't know. Mesa already feels like that would be the abilities that I would want for Red Riding Hood Warframe. Maybe with a heal as well. But yeah, that's what I would do. What about you?
It'd be Little Mermaid.
Ooh.
There would be a mermaid-based Warframe. I have no idea how that would work, but I want a mermaid-based Warframe.
Does that mean Warframes could finally swim?
Or this Warframe can. Maybe it has its own. So when it has its own shark wing thing, maybe it can fly in the air. I don't know. That's whatever. It can have its own special arc wing link to do. I don't know, but it's mermaid based. The plot of it would be you'd have an offshoot of the Mycoans who had found this Warframe and were using it, the infestation or the technocyte virus within the Warframe, to adjust themselves so they could survive underwater.
Yeah.
But and I don't know if you know the actual plot of The Little Mermaid, not the reboot.
No, I don't know the real plot.
She dies in the end and turns into bubbles.
Oh, I did know that, yes.
Yeah, it's really tragic. And so they finally reach out to you because they get discovered and they're trying to save it. But the infestation, which they thought they had under control, and they were using it to improve, survive underwater, because by taking it out of the Warframe and improve themselves, they were able to survive underwater for a while. But now it's taking over them. And they either end up killing themselves or it destroys them while they reach out to you to try and save them. And while the Grineer have discovered them, because maybe the Grineer found them and that caused or damaged the way that the Warframe was in storage, and that damaged their control over the infestation with themselves. So they reach out to you to come save them. You try and save them, but it's too late. And in the end, they just all die and you get the Warframe. And it's really tragic that you've got this Warframe that was there. save it, and that way I'm bringing in a new faction and then also wiping out that faction in a tragic way.
I would like it if they were sort of like, you know, the whole memorial in Dalaran after Ice Crown Citadel. I'd love it if there was a memorial in like the Myconian colonies.
Why isn't the Myconian colony like Steel Path yet?
Fucking no. It's like, why? Yeah, why aren't the Myconians?
I love that. It's one of my favorite things in the game. Yeah. Why, no, they should have their own Iron Wake. They should have their own.
That's what I mean. Like, why isn't that? Oh god, I want to petition D. Can we please have that node?
Yeah, there's so many little things like the way they talk about it, them sitting around eating at desks and
Xeno
storage.
Like that.
I love it.
That ambience was just freaking amazing.
I find them so much more interesting than the Solarans or the Ostrons, the Myconians, the whatever they are. They're just so much more interesting.
I don't know. I mean, I do get where you're coming from, but I think the problem is that we've had limited exposure to them. I think after a while, it would taper out, just like the Ostrons. And...
No, because the thing is, the Ostron. Maybe you haven't expanded the Ostrons.
Where
did they come from?
Where did they go? Before we go on this train of thought, like, should we continue on with the Patreon questions?
Yes. Well done, Nick Evans, on a very thoughtful, interesting question. But I think that has hopefully teased you with some ideas. So there we go. That's pretty good. Nick Evans also has, in the spirit of an anime discussion, DE magically now has the influence and budget to fund a Warframe-based anime. Which part of Warframe's timeline would you rather they focus on? The Orokin era and the fall of the Empire, stories from after the fall, when Warframes are rarer and rarer, or stories from the modern era where Warframes are reawoken and start to explore this new time and learn about its differences?
The beginning where where I would want to start when the Zariman 10-0 had its accident. I would like to start there because I do not want a playable old war. I want that to be in Codex. I want that to be in literature. I want that like an anime.
So where does your anime start, and what is the course of it?
So is
it just the 10-0 into the Sentient War, or what?
Yes, basically.
No, if DE did have the money for this and they were going to make it, the way it would be is it would be set in the current time, but there would be the plot would be based around a MacGuffin or some Orokin relic that would allow you to cut the flashbacks and have them exploring ruins that shows them parts of the past. So you need to have it in the current setting because that's the way the game is. If they're going to make an anime, it would be partly to get people into the current setting. So that you'd have to set it then. I know everyone would love to see an old war, whatever, and like with Lua, you know how there's like you can go into you see the current version, but you can go back to when it was fixed in the spy vaults. You'd have to do that kind of style thing where you have cutscenes or visions of the past.
But it would have to be after the new war, like when the new war.
Yeah, well, it could be any time really. That it doesn't really matter.
No, because like
I wouldn't make it sentient based.
No, because if it wouldn't be sentient based. Huh? No, but if it's now, and then you've got the Lotus, like when new players come in, they're like, who the fuck is the Lotus? Or
it would be set. No, it would be set. I would set it early, like 2017 sort of Warframe. Okay. Like you'd have Lotus because you want to leave those surprising things in the game, and you want to get people into the game. So it'd be set
after Second Dream, or
no, it would be pre-Second Dream.
Okay.
With maybe some alluding to Second Dream sort of stuff. You don't want to ruin that thing, but yeah. Sugal then says, do you feel like the Patreon questions are getting longer since the limit of 2 was implemented? Only when Nick Evans comes out with really cool things with fairy tales, where we could have made that a whole bloody topic, and we could have sat here coming up with different fairy tales for the whole day long and talking about how awesome my Myconians are.
No.
Sugal says, if it was permanent, would you rather look like Jar Jar Binks or talk like Jar Jar Binks? Talk like Jar Jar Binks.
In real life or in Warframe?
It is permanent. I think it's in real life. Can swim really well though. Because you could always just hold up signs or learn hand signals.
Never to talk.
Just never talk again. Do you really want to? His eyes are on stalks, man.
No. I get entirely what I didn't think about the become a mute. If that's actually genuinely an option, I would totally do the same thing. Do you reckon that's the secret behind Quiet Shy? Quiet Shy talks exactly like Jar Jar.
Jar Jar Binks. You're going to hell for that one.
Yeah, I know.
Hell for that one.
I know.
Scarlet Kingdom. What do you guys want the broken Warframe to be? Any kind of role for it to fill? No.
Support.
I'm not. I have not looked into it. I'm letting it be its own thing.
There's nothing to look into.
I know, and I don't want to even start thinking. I know you're looking for us to go in discussion. I think it could fill this role, but there's too many Warframes, I think, to give things a role.
Support.
I've seen a lot of hate that the frame's gotten, so I don't really want to weigh in on it. I just want to let D make it. Yeah.
Where have you seen that? Is it Reddit?
About it. Forums and Reddit and just yeah. Magpie.
You don't go to the Reddit.
If you were to bite,
it's a silly place.
The topic we had today was from the Reddit.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just
most topics from Reddit. Tobiah goes to Reddit for us. Thank you, Tobiah.
No, I'm just saying, Monty Python.
If you were to bite into a new road, what do you think it would have for texture and taste?
We did actually have a very similar question a couple of episodes ago, but I did double check it. Texture.
Yeah, that was Tenno. No, sports.
Yeah. A neuroad.
A neuroad.
What the fuck is a neuroad?
Neuroads, well, hilariously, it was for ages. Neuroads and neural sensors used to have the wrong way around. Neuroads are infested tissue, so biotech sensor organ harvested from infested entities.
I don't know. I kind of expect it to be slip. Well, it depends. How is it prepared? If it's cooked, it will dry out. If it's uncooked.
Well, I think it would have crunchy bits in it because it's sort of like biotech. It's got it's technocytes. So I think this is kind of, as it's an organ, you're gonna have lots of different tissues in there. We're gonna have some crunchy bits, some squidgy bits. I think it would have a soft gooey center, but it would also have kind of stringy entrails coming off the back, because it's a neuroad. It probably links into other parts of the body, relaying information. So it's going to be quite stringy in those bits, which will be quite chewy. Squishy center, crunchy sections on it. There you go.
What he said. I have no idea.
Russia, if your mother played one day, decided to play. I think it's if your mother decided to play Warframe one day, what would be your most crucial advice to her?
On a slight tangent, I did actually discover that my mum watched Faulty Frame Squad when she my mum was 75 at the time, and she was like, well, that's very nice, isn't it? I'm like, oh my god. Because she hadn't got a clue what was going on. I don't blame her. So I imagine it would be press escape, press quit, go read a book.
My mum.
My mum wouldn't get it at all. My mum doesn't get computers. No. My mum is like...
I think I'd just show my mum where the colour, the options to colour another set in the Warframe is.
My mum is so anti-computers.
Give them some way to get into it.
Yeah.
Give them something in there. Joshua Winnick also says, what does Argon Crystal taste like? How many more questions were about Warframe resources and their possible editability? Well, until we've gone through the whole game and every single thing.
Have you ever had nougat?
I think so.
And
you're wrong, Xeno. You know what they taste like?
What?
Salt, because we never got our decoration that we wanted.
Oh, God, yeah. 136 of those fuckers we got.
Yep.
I think we spent 6 hours on it as well.
That's it for the Patreon questions.
Cool. Right. So, moving on to the community responses.
Quickly, just some community responses.
Yeah, take the time.
Joshua Minnick again. Have you played the Void Raider mission from Barrow that you need Mr. Sandman Prime to play? It's interesting, and I wonder if we get other missions like that.
No.
I haven't had a chance to play it. I do have Mr. Sandman Prime. I just need to get around to it. I didn't know it existed. And I kind of like it. It's unique stuff. It's quite simple content for them to add, and you know what it is, right?
I know of it. I don't know what it is.
It's a void events with Barrow.
Ah, cool. The really interesting thing though is to highlight Barrow's TennoCon relay will come back this weekend. Right, so the TennoCon weekend. So you can get it then.
Oh, cool. Definitely, yeah. Varley Cloen, I'm on console and I don't have Steel Path yet. Yes, I'm very sorry again, by the way. I thought it would be out of cert by now, but it's still in cert. It's crazy. But I think they should add void traces, small resource caches, weapons, Exodus adapters, and maybe the Universal Syndicate medallions to the store. But the last two should be definitely expensive as Steel Essence Sync, but I suppose that's what the relic packs are for. Yeah, I think maybe adding some extra stuff on there. I'm quite shocked that DE added even Kuva on there at this point because they should have. I've said in the past they should have. I think they should have released it with almost nothing on the store and just put things saying coming soon to let people know stuff will be on there soon. Give everyone it for a week to see how much Steel Essence they have and then price it. I'm a bit worried they won't add anything more to the store now though.
I want to give my opinion per thing. So can you read them out one at a time?
Void traces.
Yes.
Small resource caches.
What the fuck is a resource? What? Just like random?
I think
resources?
It's like I think it's an RNG box. I think this means an RNG box where it'd be like you get a chance at Neuros or Gallium or Oricon cells. Weapon Exodus adapters. Weapon/Exodus adapters.
No.
Universal Syndicate medallion.
Yes.
I think that would actually be a really good thing to add to the store. Actually.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. There you go. I really want the void traces is actually a really good thing. I think.
Yeah. Chris Mahan. Oh, this is okay. This is the thing between Chris Mahan and Red Sky 33, and I thought this was really clever and really cool because two people talking in the comments. So Chris Mahan, I use Sandstorm all the time. Still working on the build though. And Red Sky 33 comes and goes, for what exactly? It barely does any damage, and it's not a great CC ability since it just throws enemies away for a few seconds. And to build for it, you would need a lot of energy and energy efficiency. Why would you take at least 2 mod slots that could be used to make him more tanky or add range for his one? I love this. It's like Red Sky come in like, so
yeah.
Chris Mahan's like, I like Sandstorm. It's like, but if you think of the consideration of these things, Chris Mahan replies with, to at Red Sky 33 because I like Sandstorm, lol. It does okay, not much range, but I use the Ferox throw to cover the range a bit. Plus, I like the ragdolling. I think it's hilarious, lol. I love we've got two players here. Neither are wrong. I don't want to point out. Like, one player's like, but we consider the efficiency. We can do this and this and this. And the other's like, I like ragdolling people because it's fun. Like,
to be fair though,
both guys or girls, awesome.
That's why I love the Bolt or Prime for the longest time ever, is because
nailing things to the wall.
Yep, nail to the wall. I fixed it, guys. I plugged the hole.
Raelius Author. I ordered my you were saying about getting shipments in. There's quite a few people. I picked just as one. There was many people. I think Zerugel mentioned as well. I ordered my Empyrean collection back when it first launched. They did send out an email regarding shipments are supposed to be in July instead of May, but seeing TennoCon 2020 merch shipping out has me really disheartened. I ordered those too. So I do hope you get your stuff. Yeah, I think it's different suppliers and different things, and it's just a whole jumble at the moment for them.
So I double check, Mike. You can. So if you log in on the website, you go to the merch store, you click on the person icon on the top right hand corner. You can see your outstanding orders. Mine are both still unshipped. So, but I only recently ordered the TennoCon t-shirt and pen.
I've got all that stuff. That's interesting. So obviously, though, check it out. By the way, people, that don't lose your stuff because if it gets left in a mail room, it'll get shipped back and things. So do check that out. So log into the website. You say,
log into the website. Go to the merch page. There's an icon of a person, which is supposed to be your account. You click on there, and you can see your previous shipments or your unshipped stuff and things like that.
Cool.
Cool.
Also from Raelius, in regards to Steel Essences, I've not tried Steel Path. I just know that I'm glad that he is changing the point I'm bringing up. Changing the Dax armor to a non-gendered one post TennoCon. For those unaware, it is currently tied to body type. So if you were hoping to try on one but had the wrong body type, you're shit out of luck until the patch. As someone who uses Capture Heavy, I'm very excited for the future update. Now, I haven't seen the actual update of what D declared. I don't know if you know. There's sort of like a male-esque themed one and a female-esque one, and it was linked to the body types. And not to get too deep into this kind of topic, obviously, the politics of it, but I always think that D does a good job of just do it, don't make fuss, And I think that they obviously didn't have any mean intention when they made it one way, but they're just going, yep, we'll just change it, don't worry. But obviously after TennoCon, because they're probably very busy at the moment. And I love it, just don't put attention to it. It's like, there we go, bam. Player choice, there you go. we don't care. I just think it's brilliant that he does that.
Didn't get
Frosthawk
regression
2815.
Didn't get regression testing.
Oh, okay. Frosthawk 2815. How do you feel about filling out the rest of the solar system now that major bodies of the inner solar system are in game? So the 3 other Gallian moons, Titan and Enceladus of Saturn, Oberon, Titania of Uranus, Triton and Neptune, Charon of Pluto. There's plenty of room for creativity on these locations. And we're getting T-Boss. So yes, I think, yeah. More, I hope we explore more things. Like the Corpus, we need more interesting. Like Deadlock Protocol was great. Just to check, what is the Deadlock Protocol?
Oh, it's when the board of Corpus executives can't agree. So it's
so what?
Oh no! After so many votes, when the boards always end the vote in a tie, I think it elects an official, like so one person to take.
But I like the concept, but then does it though? Because it seems like because the story kind of goes. It starts out by saying that, and then it lets Neff go, and that means I'm now going to look for my dead dad. And I'm like, why would you write a protocol in saying now go look for your dead dad?
No,
it's like it's just like the vote is cast 7 times and been drawn 7 times or something. I'm like, okay, I understand that. So they have a protocol in place that if they're trying to make a decision, which I don't know what the decision is, they keep getting deadlocked, there is an option to go to it. But I don't get what that protocol... I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe it gives Neff absolute authority. But then he seems to decide to go look for his dad.
I don't know if it's Neff specifically. I think it is the closest heir to Parvos Granum. And Neff claims that he is the closest heir to Parvos Granum. Right? Yeah, and he is not looking for his alive dad. He is looking for his dead dad to do a DNA test. However, they found out Parvos Granum is still bloody alive.
But the thing is, to me, that sounds like you sort that out first. Like the protocol, it should be like the protocol shouldn't be, oh, now let's go prove that you are. It should be like, no, I know that I am. Here's my proof. Deadlock protocol comes into effect, and thus, it just seems a weird order of events to me. Anyway, let's move. Sorry, getting bogged down in silliness now. Anyway, let's move on. So Chardan Sierra Vitriol, I think I got that right. Trade bans get communicated via inbox message in game. Mine was for having a third-party program running that can change a program's memory. Even if that never touches Warframe, they detect it and they blanket flag you. I understand it partly, but it feels a bit heavy-handed. Yeah. And as for it not being the end of the world, in my case, I was told that if they detected similar behavior, I would lose permanent access to my account. If the OP got the same text as me, they might be spooked over simply playing the game in a very efficient way.
Now that, right, okay, so thank you very much, Char, for pointing that out to us. Again, if the OP had actually put that as a screenshot, I would have been so much more on board. Like, okay, yeah, it's really, scary shit to think that we've spent years on Warframe, and then for all of a sudden that to just go away, right?
That's the thing for Char. I mean, it's a big thing for him. I assume he is now not touching any piece of software that could go anywhere near it, because I know how much work he's put into his Warframe account.
Yeah, no, oh god, no, that would be like way too heavy-handed for me. Yeah. So I
wouldn't even want to get a first warning on that. I would stay away from anything that even comes close to touching anything software-wise. And I think the most I've got is a macro for my mouse, which I hold down so I can just use semi-auto things with one button press. And even that I'm a bit dubious about. Right, and the last thing, just to boost Xeno's ego a little bit, Kenneth Cunningham says, I love the graphception. I'd love more of it. And there will be pain. I like the combined graphs. It's quite interesting to see how they cross over to get a broader understanding of people's positions in general.
Yeah, it's where we can see a direct correlation. Like, I don't know, maybe I could build something to auto-detect direct correlations, but there wasn't one obvious for this series of questions, so yeah. Cool, right. Now we shall move on to the memes.
Memes! So, meme number one. Do you have meme number one up? I'm loading, need to look at that now, and then close this, and then that. Right, first of all, witty sword pun. When new Excaliburs first discover Exalted Blade.
What is he doing? What is that?
I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Can I see if I find it in the comments? No, I can't.
It looks like a spotlight, and he's just like put his hand over it, and he's just like, I don't know if he's stoned out of his skull or what.
Yeah. I don't even know what that's from.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Right. Cool. Should we move on to the next one?
Anyone knows what that is, do let us know.
Yeah.
Right, moving on to number 2. 1st of August, 30 minutes. Tune in. Don't forget. I understand, my child. And then we have people who got, what is it, Scarlet Witch on the floor. I've got to have a Marvel meme. People who sell ribbons complaining about price drops. So are better than anyone. You could never. Today, I lost more than you could know. People who sell Hydroid Prime. Lovely meme. Brilliant meme, that one.
Oh, that is just awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peak
memeness there.
Yeah.
Number 3, I think somehow Xeno's been sniped, and this is I'm pretty sure this is definitely Xeno's account. So a couple of friends in Discord last night. Upgrades: Loki Prime, rank 30. Builds: crowd control, stealth, troll. Zooms in, troll. This is a leaked footage of Xeno's Loki builds. There you
go. I wonder if I do actually have one called Troll. I wouldn't put it past me.
So moving on to the 4th meme now.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw this. It's got a lot of upvotes, but I had to put it in, so nobody expects it. What is this? Honestly. They're playing a Loki, and they've got the Spanish Inquisition. And I just saw that. I was like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one ever expects it. Then number 5. Yes. So here we can have our debate on whatever that is. I looking at it here, I do see what you mean. It actually, because you can see the bottom as well here. Yeah, it's more of a centipede than a scorpion. But yeah, there we are.
Yeah.
So the new infested exist. Loads Ignis rape with religious intent. Burn it with fire. Yeah. It looks. I really want to see what this thing is. If it's big, it's small. We're gonna fight hordes of these. This is what I'm most excited for. This enemy. Look at that. It's completely different to anything we've had before. I think it's amazing. Right, and then last meme of the week, number 6. As a shout out to let people know, Grenier Butcher go shopping. What will he buy? Be like him. Wear a mask. I don't know if you know, but in the UK now we have to wear a mask to go shopping. So there you go, everyone. Yeah. Wear masks.
Yeah.
Out and about. And Grenier are leading the way with their masks on this one.
Lol.
There we go. Right, let's move on to community shout outs of the week.
Okay, cool. So, first community shout out. Something different by Festi. So, I think Festi was away from their computer for a while. So, they made Nefanyo and Aladvi as bears. And on the screen right now, there is Nefanyo. But yeah, they're awesome.
Oh, wow. The Aladvi one is shifty. That is so cool.
Yeah.
People with skill and talent. You amaze me every time. That is lovely.
Cool. Right. The next community shout out. Do not do that. Cancel. Right. The second one is Harrow by Modrech. I'm not Modrech. I can't pronounce your name. Don't know how you pronounce Mordech. Yeah. So lovely Aniros Deluxe. No, not Aniros. Sorry, Harrow. Harrow Deluxe skin.
Gino has to check himself now after last week. I really want to cut that bit from last week out because it is hilarious. You see me, it's hilarious. I try to interrupt you several times, I think Ruben points out. And then you see me being like, what's he saying? And then you're like, I'm on my tirade. I'm going to do I'm a Xeno. I'll be right. I'll be spitting truth. Wait, what? And then you can even put sound effects in of like the window shutting down and you just break. It's so good. I've got to cut that out. Yep, but there we go. So checking himself this time. Got that Harrow cosmetic.
I'll get you the raw bastard. Right. The third community shout out is this gorgeous Cora Deluxe by Zero Control. Sorry.
Oh,
yep.
Mini frame Cora. It ain't much, but it's honest work.
Yep.
I've not seen this. The skin is in game now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I bought it. I really should have a look at it because, like, again, this looks really cool. I'm gonna have to see how it looks in game finally, though.
Yep.
I'll go do that after this stream.
Right.
No.
Number 4 is Mesa Prime by Nessown.
Umbra fan concept. So this would be Mesa Umbra Mesa.
Oh, maybe it's Mesa Umbra.
I'm feeling too much of the prime there, though, in the legs. I think you could do more with that. I think I love it. Don't get me wrong, piece of artwork is amazing. And I didn't even see that it's got the after images of the.
Yeah.
I thought that was just
actually,
energy.
yeah. That's a fair point, actually.
That is cool,
right?
But I think you could have a bit more. What Umbra?
Cool. The 5th community shout out is Loki Prime by Manny Doodles, which looks.
Is that like hand done or something? Like the really odd way it's done, but it looks awesome. It's almost like pixely, and I love my pixelies.
You do love your pixelies, even though you can't remember the name of Panzer Paladin.
The what?
Never mind.
It's in the bin.
But it's out now.
Right. Now it can exist.
Now and then, last but not least, is Cora Deluxe by Tiny Nightingale.
Oh.
Yep.
See, again, it makes. I'm gonna have to go look at the skin, see how it's fun. I know we whinged about it when we saw it and think, let's see how it's fun is, because that looks really nice.
I think now that it's rigged correctly, it looks a lot better. So.
Let's go look at it. We have to look at it. That's something nice about it.
Cool.
This is the kind of thing I like, where it blends clothing or the style of clothing so much better into the organic nature of Warframes.
Unlike Mesa. Yeah.
Unlike Mesa.
Right.
Right, so that's it for the shoutouts. I have to write down a doobly-doobly-doob.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, so this is a quote from a film we have had before. You did the film last time, and I'm going to read it out to you again. This is where has it gone? Scroll up.
As in, I literally did the film the last episode?
No, ages ago.
Okay, because I was going to say, I mean, I'm pretty sure I remember what the film was last time.
Okay. Counselor. You have nearly 100 military galleons operating the asteroid belt right now. Your outriders have dropped enough sonar buoys so that a person could walk from Mars to Ceres to Europa without jumping once. Now, shall we dispense with the Hayeka?
Just question, like, with Hayeka, was that supposed to be shit?
Bull.
Right, okay.
But we don't have bulls in Warframe, so I was like, the Kubro?
Right, okay.
The Drak? I didn't know what word to go. It feels wrong, but yeah.
So, read it out again.
Counselor, you have nearly 100 military galleons operating in the asteroid belt right now. Your outriders have dropped enough sonar buoys so that a person can walk from Mars to Ceres to Europa without jumping once. Now, shall we dispense with the Hayeka?
Fuck, I've done this before, have I?
Yes.
Is it sci-fi?
I looked through the quote list. No.
It's not sci-fi.
It's an old film.
It's an old film.
It's an old film.
Not sci-fi. Is it actually boats?
Yeah, boats.
So
that's why I left sonar buoys to give you a link. It is still sonar buoys.
So it's still boats.
Get them boats.
Get them boats. Old or new?
Old film.
Old film. Can you give me the year?
1990.
1990. Old film. Modern day?
For the time.
Yes, yeah.
In 1990, it was, I think, kind of as if modern day-ish setting sort of thing.
What is it? A wartime film? Like what's
no? It is a dramatic setting, obviously about military stuff. Boat film. Come on, the most famous boat film that's old.
I can only think about oh Christ, what's the? Is it the one with Harrison Ford in it? Submarine one. Widowmaker.
Harrison Ford?
No.
Oh no, the other one.
Oh shit, the other one.
Fuck. Yeah, the other one.
Oh
God,
God,
you're so close. Come on, it's just the other one.
I can't remember what the other one's called.
K19.
K19.
Sean Connery.
Oh, it's K19 the Widowmaker.
I think it's K19 Widowmaker. Yeah, that's a good point.
Fuck! What's the name of the other one? The one with Sean.
I think it's Sean Connery. Sean Connery's in it.
Oh God.
Yes, it's got Sean Connery in it. Playing Russians.
Oh my God! I can't remember what the fucking thing's called. I give up. I know. Yeah. What's it called?
The first word is the.
No fucking shit. Really?
Oh yeah, the.
No, I'm being sarcastic. Just tell me the name.
The submarine. The Hunt.
Oh, Hunt for Red October. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna get this in seconds. No, apparently not.
I couldn't remember what it's called.
It's got Sean Connery in it, man.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yep. So awesome. End quote. Driving me up the wall trying to remember. I bet someone in chat is like, "It's the Hunt for Red October." Like someone in comments. Yeah.
Right. So just to finish off before we put the end card up, just to let everyone know, because I feel we don't say this enough. So our topic for this week and all of the memes can be found on the Warframe subreddit and the Meme Frame subreddit. We didn't make them up, so do check those things out because they are great sources for Warframe stuff, especially the Meme Frame, man. You can just look at the hilarious memes we saw this week. The community shoutouts, I think Xeno finds most of them on Twitter, so follow Xeno's Twitter if you ever want to show him anything nice or see he might favorite or like something that's really good. And you can check out all the artists. There will be links in the description below for all of the memes. I think I'm not sure about the topic, but the everything we do this week. So yeah, we didn't do any of it. The links are down below. Please comment on the video if you want to say anything at all. I promise, it's a promise that I make to all of you that anything you comment will be read before the start of the next episode. So don't ever think that you're just, because I find that, I can understand when it gets to the point of thousands of comments on a video, you just feel like you're shouting in the dark. And sometimes I see a video, I get really annoyed, and I put a comment on, and I don't think the content creator ever sees it. Make a promise that for Warframe, for 10 o'clock, read every comment before we record the next episode. So you put it there, your voice will be heard. I do read them.
We will be realistic. Like, if we ever get to like hundreds of comments, we'll be realistic.
I would read them. I would read them. I do them before the episode normally on the day. If we got to the point of, let's say, 100 comments, I would spread them out through the week. I would spend an hour a day catching up on things. I would make the effort. We will always read every comment before we start an episode. I will make time for that.
Loz has committed.
Yeah. Oh, I doubt we're ever going to get 100 comments, but if they did, I would read them all.
Actually, one last thing I want to say. I don't know if, I assume people are still doing it, but for the comments, it would be a lifesaver for Loz especially. If you're referring to something that we said in an episode, please put a timestamp, because
you literally just have to type in the time. Literally, if it's like 1 colon minute number colon second.
So I get it with the Xeno Codex, not Xeno Codex, the Arbiters. I probably get it with the Xeno Codex as well, but with the Arbiters, I'll say something and then someone will refer to it, and I have no idea what they're referring to. I don't get the timestamps, and I'm trying to remember what the hell they're talking. So yeah, please pop.
YouTube will put the hyperlink for the timestamp in. All you literally have to do is type in
time.
If it says 1 hour 20 minutes 22 seconds, put 1 colon 20 colon 22, push space. YouTube will pick it up from that. You literally just have to type in what time it was at, and it will save us so much. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's it for shouting out for stuff. And also, please like and subscribe, actually, because we're trying to get to 1,000 subs. I always hate when people normally do this kind of stuff, but there's a reason we want to get to 1,000 subs to make this, because it allows us to link out from the episodes, and we're still waiting on that. So please, it does help if you like and subscribe or share, so that other people who maybe aren't subscribed subscribe. We only need to reach 1,000. We won't ask after that point. We'll be happy if we reach 1,000.
Yep.
Right. So good. Yeah.
So that's it. And we'll see you lovelies next week for the TennoCon episode.
Yeah, that's going to be great. See everyone now. Yeah. So I see you need to make a guesstimate about TennoCon next week. How many times will Steve do something stupid?
7.
There we go.
God knows what we define something stupid as, but
yes. I was trying to think of a thing at the minute. There we go. That's what it is.